I don't know that there's been a word yet invented to quantify just how good he is.
Stetson Wright is back in town.
He don't care what second, third, or fourth pays. His mindset is I'm going to win.
Unbelievable what that guy's done for the sport.
He will not quit until his head hits the ground, and he's going for first every time he gets on.
An injury has really put a question mark on him.
I remember sitting in the room with him, and Stetson just cried.
That's fighting a battle that I don't know could be won.
It wasn't easy to watch, that's for dang sure.
My dad never put any pressure on us to rodeo. I think he probably would have preferred if we would have picked something else that was not so demanding on our bodies, but if we were going to do it, he was going to make sure we did it 100%. And it really wasn't the riding that drew me mostly towards rodeo. It was like the effect he had on people.
You could tell they always lived and breathed rodeo. I remember watching Stetson. It's so vivid in my mind, watching him ride that steer and the way that steer bucked and the different things that he was doing to stay on it and ride it. As I watched my boys grow up, I could always see just little sparks of the potential that they had if they would apply themselves. You could always see it. But they always wanted rodeo.
The way that he went about it and like the way we looked at him is why we're all into rodeo. I craved that. I wanted to have that same effect on people.
He sets goals that I think just push him to different places that I don't know that I can even understand. Definitely, shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars, and I definitely think he's shooting for the moon. I always tell him, keep one leg on one side, one on the other, and your mind in the middle. You can't get it much simpler than that, can you?
Growing up, I remember we wore out our TV door handles because we'd make it like a buck and shoot. Whether I was bucking or riding one of my brothers, we were the next world champions, whoever was up next. My dad had buck machines and drop barrels for us, and once we advanced from that, we started riding steers to junior bulls up to bucking horses, and I mean, it felt like it was non-stop. As long as I can remember, we knew where we were headed, and the only thing that was slowing us down from getting there was turning 18 years old.
Most kids, whatever your dad does, you just want to be like your dad. It was always just how it was. We rodeoed, that's what we've done from the time Cody and I got married. So I always knew that it was, going to be something they wanted to do, but I never really anticipated the levels that they would compete at or how good they would be at it. Stetson's always been the type of kid that will try anything, not scared of anything. You just knew that he was an adrenaline junkie.
I don't know that there's been a word yet invented to quantify just how good he is. He's got everything. He's the complete package. I mean, he's got a natural God-given ability to make the rankest horses and bulls look like a walk in the park. Even with 10 gold buckles, I still don't think he realizes how good he is. The rarity of what he has in this sport is something I don't think we've seen since Ty Murray in the 90s. So to see what Stetson has been able to bring back to the rough stock again, he did it in such a way that nobody saw coming. Here's this fresh-faced kid from Utah that we watched in junior high and high school.
I'm Stetson Wright. I'm from Beaver, Utah. I'm 18 years old. I'm here at the national finals in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Come on, Stetson, go on! Go on, Stetson! Keep riding! Go on, Stetson!
Then to go into the professional level, skip college rodeo, and not just specialize in one event, but two, and do them at the elite level. That's something that, yeah, I don't think we've seen since Ty Murray in the 90s.
End of 2019, start of 2020, the Triple Crown's been at the forefront of my mind. And then in 2020, after I had a good NFR on the Bronc riding, I was like, you definitely can do this. Like, it is very doable, achievable. You can do it if you really want it. And
Triple Crown Rodeo, it's winning 3 world championships in the same season. Nobody's done it since Trevor Brazil. Trevor did it in the all-around, the tighten roping and the steer roping, and then he would do it in the team roping and the steer roping. That's the one thing that, I don't want to say that's the one thing that keeps Stetson going, but I think it's the one thing that keeps him up at night.
I've came up short, I guess, a couple times, but every time I've come up short, I've been a little bit closer than I was the year before. So it's something that I feel like super doable. Do I think it's easy? No. If it was easy, I would have done it a long time ago, and everybody else would have done it too. Went to the circuit finals in November, like every year. It wasn't no big deal. Won the first 2 rounds of the Bronc riding. I got on a big, strong horse at Powder Rivers. She was swapping leads, made a good ride, won the round, but I heard like a pop. But I thought it was more down my leg. Like, I wasn't really sure, but something was bugging me. And up to that point, any injury, I just rode through it. I never really sat out much.
You know, he come over after the Bronc ride, he said, told me and Sha'ree, he says, I felt something pop in my leg. Didn't think a whole lot of it. He rides bulls and broncs. You know, it's gonna hurt. He went back over and rode his bull. During that bull ride, made another snap, and I think it completely tore.
When he tried to stand up and run away, you know, he just collapsed and couldn't move. But then he was walking around and was fine, you know, and then, you know, like he was moving around like nothing was wrong with him. You know, it's bull riding, you know, you can get a dead leg and your leg won't work, you know, so I didn't really understand the severity of it.
That was the very first thing I thought about was the NFR. I was in full-fledged panic mode. Like, that was the only thing on my mind the whole time. Like, I didn't care about anything else. Like, the year I'd had, the way I was riding, like, nothing was bucking me off. I just knew going into the finals that it was mine. Like, the way I was riding, I knew nothing was gonna change.
Stetson was probably riding better than he ever had in his whole career, broncs and bulls. And he was #1 in the world in both events. I was definitely worried, but I don't remember thinking and making a huge deal out of it.
I remember sitting in the room with him, waiting for the MRI, and Stetson just cried, which is unusual, because he's pretty good to not show his emotions too much, but it's Stetson, so Stetson's tough, will do physical therapy, all the things. Will be good for the NFR. I don't remember being worried.
Between the circuit finals and the NFR, I was pretty concerned with him going and trying to ride. You know, he couldn't hardly even run. They have a video of him trying to race his brother, and he couldn't even race. It just like locked up his whole body.
The more that I learned about the hamstring is when it's not attached, your brain sends a signal down to your leg to fire and run. And so every time I would try to have like a jolting move, like fire my legs, my body was just shutting down.
And he was totally convinced that I think that he could until he couldn't. And he wasn't not going to go to the NFR and try. And I wasn't going to, tell him that he couldn't.
He said that he'd been going to physical therapy and he was feeling pretty confident about it, wasn't too worried about it. And you expect that from most guys at that level, that when they do have an injury and coming into a finals like that, like, you don't ever want to think what if. So showing up there to give it your all is kind of the only option. And he's got a mentality that separates himself from everybody else. I mean, he will not quit until his head hits the ground, and he's going for first every time he gets on.
It's our Super Bowl, it's our World Series, it's our Stanley Cup playoffs, it's 10 nights in a row of the most grueling rodeo on the planet. He's competing against 29 other athletes in 2 events. Just to know that you're going into an event where you're going to get on the rankest horses and the rankest bulls every night. It's not just a physical toll, but it's a mental toll.
Going in for round 1, I was nervous. My thought was going into round 1, like, I needed more time. Like, I could do it if I just had a little bit more time to get in shape. My mind was all over the place. Like, am I okay? Am I gonna be fine? You're gonna win. You're gonna die. Like, there was a bunch of things.
Seeing him there before round 1, he seemed confident and seemed like he was normal self.
The buck off from round 1 of the first horse, it didn't worry me at first, because even as great as Stetson is, there's things that happen every once in a while, right?
Yeah, he went out there and rode his Bronc for 7 seconds and kind of just rolled off. It didn't look like, you know, stuff that happens to all of us, you know. So I thought, no, he's probably fine.
Well, I think Stetson can win the round if he rides this bullshit. Go to the left into his hand, whips him out of there right.
It's not good.
That's not good. So we don't know about that leg, but if he can't get a hold with it.
Yeah, we saw him with a slight limp after the Bronc riding, but that's a much bigger limp after this trip on Hercules.
It surprised me in the bull riding, because I thought that was a bull that he would ride easy, and had seen him on bulls like that a bunch of times that he'd ride easy. And after that first one, it made me realize, I'm like, dang, maybe he is hurting more than he's been letting on. And
that was a tough pill to swallow, because that was a bull that before I got hurt, I could have said I could have rode with no legs. Like, and so that would kind of shot my confidence right off the bat. I was the last guy out again. I was still #1 in the world, had my saddle on. I just was looking up the alleyway to Thomas and Mack, and I was just like, pretty much like, God, if there's this, like, I need a sign. Like, if I need to sit out, like, show me it now.
Let's go to our next man, Stetson Wright from Utah.
I just feel so bad for him. Unbelievable what that guy's done for the sport. That's fighting a battle that I don't know can be won.
Once again, I should have rode the horse that I was getting on. I hung for 2, and then it bucked me off real hard. And at that point, like, I knew that was what I needed to happen in order to make the decision. The hardest part of that was looking at my dad. And when I crawled over the chute, he really didn't say nothing. I remember I just broke down, and I told him, I said, I can't do it. Like, I tried.
When he come back off that second horse and told me that he couldn't, it was, if you can't do it and you try as hard as he does, you're going to wind up right underneath him, and it's going to be worse than it was. I can't even imagine how he felt. But yeah, it wasn't easy to watch, that's for dang sure. He was sure enough that we pulled him completely out. He knew that he wasn't just going to be able to take a couple days off and come back. It was just, that was it. And he knew it, and I knew it. And it was super sad, just because how good he was riding and the things that he could have accomplished that year.
I was home a lot, probably 9 months of the 14 months. It felt like it would never end. I never thought I was going to be able to get back to riding Being home was really hard because like I didn't feel good. I wanted to get back to rodeo, but not being able to do it and just watching everybody else win, and it was super hard.
Dealing with injuries, it's tough. You're so used to going all the time and riding all the time that when you do have to sit at the house for 6 months, it drains you. That's all you know and that's all you're used to doing. When you got to occupy your time with trying to rehab an injury and then you don't have much else to do other than that, it really takes a toll mentally wise as well as the physical.
The surgery seemed to go smooth and everything seemed like it was on point, and like when I came out of surgery everything was good. I laid in bed for a couple weeks, and then end of May, start of June, I got cleared to get back on, and that was the goal, like go through surgery, get ready, come Reno time, I'd be back to rodeoing. And I knew the way I was riding before I got hurt that if I just sat out, that's how my body would still remember how to do it, and I'd just come back and ride again. Went home that day, got on a bull and rode him, but it just felt terrible. Like my body wasn't reacting the way I wanted it to, and I was just like, oh well, like it'll buff, just keep getting on. So I gave it a couple more days, got in a bucking horse. Horse reared up out of there, hit the ground, and as soon as she hit the ground, I felt that thing shoot back down my leg again. The doctor had told me it tore off the top again and in half in the middle. And he told me that like your rodeo days are gone. Like this can't be fixed.
And I remember him calling me and he was like, it tore again. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. Like good, bad, whatever. There's a reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe we'll never know what it is, but there's a reason, and we're gonna get through it. You're gonna get through it, and we'll be just fine. And inside, I'm dying for him. Inside, he's dying for himself, but we're not letting each other know. We're just like, you're good, we'll get through this. But he never told us. He never even breathed a word about, I'm done. They think I'm done.
I was freaking out. Well, we just start looking for surgeons anywhere, and I ended up finding one in California. He's top 3 hamstring surgeon in the world. He had a completely different take on it.
They found this Dr. Guanche in California. Got it all lined up and went down there, and when he got there, his insurance wouldn't cover. It was all lined up for a 7 o'clock in the morning surgery, and his insurance, they walked in and told him, your insurance ain't gonna cover this, we ain't gonna do it. And so he had to pay out of his pocket.
They gave me 5 minutes to decide if I was gonna pay $75,000 or they were canceling the surgery completely. When you don't rodeo for a year, that's a big lump sum of money that you don't want to spend. The confidence this guy had in his work gave me a lot of comfort. I would say he was gambling. Like I just put all my money into that surgery, betting that it was going to work and pay off. But when I woke up from the second surgery, I knew that it was not the same as the last one. I woke up, looked down, and I asked him, I said, where's like the crutches and the brace? He goes, do you want them? I said, I'm like, what? I thought you had to. He goes, no, I need you to get out of the bed and walk. So he woke me up from surgery and made me walk out of surgery. And like there was pretty much no restrictions. He was just like, you'll never tear this again. And
he's in that surgery and he's walking right after surgery. The first surgery, 6 months before, he was no weight. Like just the difference in the 2 surgeries was mind-blowing. To get that FaceTime call after surgery and see him walking, we're like, okay, well, here we go again. And I just knew without a shadow of a doubt he's back better than before.
I think what makes Stetson different from a lot of competitors is mindset, ultimately. I mean, you can get guys down, you can beat them down, you can take some life from them, but when it's positive energy, he feeds off it. When it's negative energy, he feeds off it even more. So he doesn't look at any day as a bad day, just a day to be a better person than he was the day before. And he's got his goals and his motive and his mindset and his right support system and team behind him that they're not going to take no for an answer. And he wakes up every day and wants to be better than he was the day before.
I started on the steers literally back to where it all started when I was in 4th grade. So started there, progressed back up. Obviously, it was like the craziest thing because you start on steers and then you take clear up till you're 18 years old. I felt like when I came back to rodeoing, it started with steers and everything, and just kind of, I did it all in 1 month, just by myself. I'd kick the chute open, or Ryder would come over and just throw it open, but I didn't need help. I was just kind of getting the feel of things again. When my dad shows up the 23rd and he goes, let's just run in a bull. And it's just me and him there, and I'm like, no, you've lost your mind. I said, I'll get a bullfighter down here, I'll get everything set up. Like, I promise I'll do it tomorrow. Well, he leaves and I run back in my house, and it's 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I call that surgeon. And I'm like, you said, like, I'm cleared to rodeo, right? Like, 100%. He goes, yeah, just don't ride the bull or horse for over 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm like, holy crap.
Well, just don't ride for like 30 minutes or just didn't kind of get it. Stetson was just, I think, looking for reassurance that it was better because he didn't want to come back and have that happen again.
I went from scared to get on a bull to like confidence up. Well, obviously getting off the phone with him, I was like, hell yeah, I'm good. Like, this is never gonna tear again. But as 24 hours rolled on and everybody come over to buck, like, that's when it's getting serious. The bull's running in, and I was nervous. As I think my mom has the whole video of me getting in the chutes, and I think it took me 2 minutes and 30 seconds to nod. And that, if you pay attention to all rodeos, that is a long time to sit and shoot. Like, I was trying to convince myself that it was okay to nod, and that bull bailed out of there and my legs just fired.
Go on! Go on! Go on, Stets!
I feel like it probably felt like he'd won the world again. I don't know if there was a dry eye in that barn.
I looked at his sister Lily. She was crying. I was crying. I look at Cody in the arena. He's crying. Everyone's hooting and hollering. And it was, I don't know, the most like awe, like, holy crap, here's Stetson again. It was amazing.
If I have a highlight moment of my whole entire career, best feeling I've ever had in my life, trumps every single gold buckle I've ever won, everything. It was that bull in the practice pen with about 7 or 8 people.
The confidence that the surgeon had in himself, he gave that to Stetson when Stetson walked out of the hospital. Stetson carried that through the rest of his recovery and into the rodeo season.
I remember the moment vividly when I realized we got our boy back. It was at the Western Region Finals of the American. He had been off for 14 months. Surgeries and rehab and doctors telling him he wasn't going to ride again. And he showed the world in 2 rides. I'm right here like I never left.
He didn't want to come back and just kind of get by. He wanted to come back and put a stamp on it. He wanted to blow the doors open, and I think he did that right out of the gate. And then he went on and won some big winter rodeos, and you know, not just winning them barely, I mean, dominating them.
And then he's going to stomp him. And Stetson Wright wants the Triple Crown, guys. That's it. He has been very open and very forward.
The regular season, once I finally started getting in, and that was around Reno when I wasn't getting turned out. I was pretty high up in the world standings in both events. But Reno, I'd say in the bull riding was when everything like fully clicked. I rode a bull Mike Corey's called Speed Dial for 92 or 92 and a half, away from my hand, like a way good ride. Jumped on a plane that night, flew out to Springdale, Arkansas, rode a bull there for 92, went to Pecos the next day, rode one for 91, come back to Reno short round. I think I had 11 90-point rides within like 2 weeks. I was 90 everywhere. I broke the record for most 90-point rides in the bull riding in a single season.
The old Stetson Wright showed back up right away in the bull ride, and I felt like it looked to me like he hadn't even had 12 months off. Once the summer rolled around, like, he went to stacking up wins, and he looked like his old self again in the Bronc riding, but the bull riding, it looked like he didn't even have 12 months off.
It was just like he was a rookie again. You know, he'd sat out a year, and his mind didn't want to sit out a year, but he had to physically. As soon as it didn't hurt, I knew Stetson was back.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is back once again. They only make one back number with number one. Your all-around world leader, Mr. Stetson Wright.
The smile on his face, and it was like the first time again. When you watch your kids overcome their biggest obstacles, you know, it's just the pride is, I don't know, second to none.
I love everything about the NFR. The butterflies that Grand Entry gives you when you get in there with all them fans, it's like the craziest feeling ever. Rolling to round one, that horse bells out of there, box I end up being 90 points winning the first round. And talk about a way to show back up to the Thomas and Mack. I was just like, this night couldn't get any better. Well, about 30 minutes later,
That cowboy has come back with a vengeance. It is not the road you take, but it's how you take the road.
I think his statement back was right out of the gate, and then I'm pretty sure he won the bulls and Broncs that first round. And you know, he kicked the door wide open and said, hey, Superman's back.
oh man, they're gonna have hell throwing me off this week. Ended up second in round two, won the bull riding in round two, and like it just felt like the good times were not ending. I was gonna ride and win on everything I got on.
Superman stands before you, and they are going to tell us that he missed the horse out with his right leg. It was under the...
Round six sucked. When they missed me out, I knew that I didn't, so the rage that I felt, I was so pissed off. But once again, I had two other brothers there competing. So I'm like trying to hold in anger. I go back in the locker room, tell them good job because they did good, act like it didn't bug me, just beat bopping around, just trying to avoid trying to drag everybody else's NFR down. And I'm like, sweet, I got a bull.
Too bad for the bull. Watch Stetson Wright ride this dude. He is getting it on. Leaderboard, look out. You know what's coming. Whoa! Ow! Ouch! He said never touch me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you say.
Everything happens for a reason. The Triple Crown was not meant to happen in 2025. For whatever reason, I felt like going into that NFR, I was prepared. I felt like the way I executed the whole NFR, that I gave myself the best chance to do it, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. round 6, I felt like helped me realize that no amount of drama that goes on in my life will affect the way I ride. And I know I'm going to win because I didn't win round 7, but I won round 9 and 10 in the Bronc riding and won a bull riding world title, broke my money record in the all-around that I held from 22.
I mean, if you want to say in one word, it was phenomenal from what he'd been through. It was a pretty rough year, but to where he ended up the whole year, I would just have to say it was pretty phenomenal to see what he did.
Just the emotion that Stetson did it when he wasn't supposed to, when so many people thought he was done. To see him get the 2 gold buckles and be able to share it with his brother is just amazing.
I don't know if Stetson will ever be satisfied. I hope he's always happy. I hope he's never satisfied. I think he'll always have the push to want more and be better. And I really do hope that he's always a little restless. And I really don't think he'll ever be satisfied. I just hope that he's happy, because I don't think Stetson's got anything to prove.
I fully decided after my second surgery, like, I was going to come back. I'm going to do it. And the Superman role that everybody had called me, like, I feel like if I'm Superman at any point in my career, it was when I came back. Everything it took to come back, and I feel like my comeback doesn't end after round 10 of 2025. I feel like it's going to continue to go until the day that I decide that I'm done, because they said in 2024 in June that it wasn't going to happen again. So the comeback's not over until I'm done rodeoing.
And what do you say to the people who have another opinion or who have been doubting you since the first injury?
You can kiss my ass, because I ain't going away.